welcome to another episode of Introducing. Today we are looking at this very special Model S. This is Alejandra. So before we get started, we're going to continue our new tradition of pairing a guitar with whiskey. Today I've chosen Aberfeldy 12. This is a Highland whiskey, soft and golden, much like the soundboard on this guitar. Do you want some, Daniel? Do you want a little slurp?
A little slurpy, just a tiny splash.
Oh yeah, honey notes. Absolutely delicious. So, enough of that. Alejandra, really beautiful guitar, one I'm absolutely thrilled with. It's just about to get ready for an adventure over the ocean. It's going to go to Belgium, to our friend Nico. Very excited for Nico to receive this guitar. So a little run through of the specs for Alejandra. It's a Model S, as with all Model S guitars, 12 frets to the body. We have got a Torrefied Adirondack spruce face. So you may have heard me talk about the torrefaction process before. Torrefaction is a roasting. So the idea with Torrefied spruce faces is we're trying to replicate that kind of vintage sound by roasting the spruce. The idea is that you're crystallizing internal resins and really kind of drying out the wood so that it's like pre-aging it. So we've got Torrefied Adirondack, red spruce for the face. Put your big boy pants on. Ultra mega turbo master grade, just next level Madagascar rosewood. A very special set of rosewood, which I'll get into in a second. We've got a Honduran mahogany neck. We've got Madagascar rosewood fingerboard, head cap, bridge and bindings. We've got some of the green patinated copper. The green doesn't have a name yet. We should come up with a name for the green. If you've got any suggestions for what we should call this green and gold, let me know. We have got some open geared Robson tuners with snakewood buttons, and for the first time ever we have got a full patinated copper back strap, rear head cap veneer, which is echoed on the front as well. So yeah, so this rosewood, this is a very special set of rosewood for me. It was gifted to me by a dear friend and early client of mine, Bruce. I was visiting him in California, delivering his guitars, and he asked if I would be interested in some wood. And that's just a question that every luthier is always going to say absolutely yes to. And Bruce just so happened to have just the most outrageous piece of rosewood you ever did see. He'd intended to have it built into a guitar, but for one reason or another, that project never got off the ground. And so I was the lucky beneficiary of that guitar that never came into existence. And ever since I took ownership of that wood, I've wanted to build with it and to build something really special. So as you know, I really like to give my guitars names. One of the first shows, one of the first events that I was due to attend this year was going to be happening in Texas. It was going to be a guitar gathering for members of the Acoustic Guitar Forum. And so I was starting to thinking about Texan names, Texan girls, and then it came to me. One of my favourite authors, Cormac McCarthy, the author of my favourite book as part of the Border trilogy, All the Pretty Horses. It's set in Texas and over the border in Mexico, and the protagonist, the main character, John Grady Cole, forms an ill-fated romance with the daughter of a rancher, and her name, you've guessed it, is Alejandra. And just to kind of set the scene a little bit, I'm just gonna read you a little story. Story time. This is also my audition for to be a narrator for the Audible company. They spread their sugans, and he pulled off his boots and stood them beside him and stretched out in his blankets. The fire had burned to coals, and he lay looking up at the stars in their places and the hot belt of matter that ran the cord of the dark vault overhead. And he put his hands on the ground at either side of him and pressed them slowly against the earth, and in that coldly burning canopy of black, he slowly turned dead centre to the world, all of it taut and trembling, and moving, enormous and alive under his hands. "What's her name?" said Rawlins in the darkness. "Alejandra. Her name is Alejandra." There you go. Cormac McCarthy, All the Pretty Horses. Just the most beautiful book, and a really interesting dynamic between John and Alejandra. So that's where this guitar gets her name. So before I become too misty-eyed with tales of adventure in the American Southwest and from all the whiskey, I should put Alejandra safely in her case and get her ready for her adventure of her own over to Belgium. So until next time, take care.